This episode is brought to you by Voco Hotels by IHG, where you should prepare to be charmed. From Chicago to Myrtle Beach to Saranac Lake, each Voco in the U.S. has its own local flavor and unique detail. Our hosts welcome you with little extras, and you'll find rooms for catching up on me time and full-service bars and restaurants that are perfect for us time. Come on in and live the Voco life and book your next stay at vocohotels.com. VOCO hotels.com.
Welcome to episode 88 of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I am Stephen Rothberg, the founder of College Recruiter, one of your two co-hosts, joined today as winter approaches with my friend, Peter Zollman. Peter, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you very much. And winter approaches is probably true for our guest because he's in Indianapolis. But for you in Minnesota, or Minnesota as it is often called, winter has long since approached and it's there. For me in Orlando, it got down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, 18 degrees Celsius centigrade. And we think that's winter, but I know we don't get a lot of sympathy from you. Anyway, let's not spend the whole 12 minutes talking weather. I'm Peter Zollman with the AIM Group. We provide business intelligence, conferences, and consulting for job boards and recruitment marketplaces all around the world. And today, our guest is Sean Horton, the bow tie guy, Vice President of Jobs and Logistics, which includes a whole bunch of job boards. And I'm going to let you read the bottom of the screen. If you're listening rather than reading, jobsandlogistics.com will take you to a whole bunch of places. Sean, welcome. Thank you for coming. We may or may not get a chance to ask you about the bow tie thing, but I want to ask you, the title is Employers Need to Be Authentic and Authenticated. Why don't you give us, in 45 seconds or less, what the heck you mean by that?
Well, when the day is said and done, when many are looking to attract top talent, it's key to truly be authentic. We're past the days of cookie cutter advertisements, generic job descriptions, and really, lack of emotion and feeling as to I would want to embrace an organization and come work for that company. So fast forward to today, it's pertinent to include elements that truly represent your culture, your fit, and demonstrate why I would want to come work for an organization. Easy example, I just got back from the Women in Trucking Conference down in Texas. Bunch of great women. And of course, I get the question, how do we attract more women? How do we make our driving opportunities more attractive to the female population? And simply put, what are you doing to support your current females? And how are you aligning your culture, your company, and all that you are offering to be more attractive to the women in the space that may or may not take an interest? As it relates to the piece, it's of course just truly vetting those that you're seeking to work with. We take a very thorough process in order to ensure that those that we are looking to provide services to and support towards are not coming in from other countries that have malicious, goals in mind. And we have various ways in which we look to do that. But we want to ensure that all employers that are utilizing our services are truly authentic and are truly utilizing their authenticity to be attractive and to be a true employer of choice.
So authentic is, for our employer customers, that's going to be things like being honest about what it's like to work at your organization, what the pay is like, if you've had layoffs, what the career path is going to be, those sorts of things, right? The authentication is a word that I didn't come across the word, but I think I really started to think about the idea in our industry from an episode of another podcast that I co-host, the High Volume Hiring Podcast, when we were talking about the importance of employers being authenticated, meaning that the candidate knows that this job ad from Target or Walmart was actually posted by Target or Walmart and not some overseas actor who's just trying to steal their identity. For the jobs in logistics family, of sites. Is there anything that you guys are doing on your sites so that the candidates know what steps you've taken to authenticate the employers? At College Recruiter, I can tell you, we're not putting anything on our site saying whether we have, whether we haven't, what we've done, what we haven't done. I'm wondering if you guys have done anything.
At this point, we have not done anything specifically as far as an authentication check mark. I know looking to LinkedIn, they have an authentication process where everybody knows that they're real profiles and all that good stuff. It is on our bucket list of items because, of course, that reflects our brand and the value that we provided to the space. And of course, we both want the candidates and the employers we're working with to know that they are working with an organization that is truly vetting and fully on board with avoiding those malicious activities that fraudsters themselves look to, bring to the table on any job board or really anywhere in our world these days.
Fair enough. So you've got jobs in manufacturing, you've got jobs in logistics, you've got jobs in trucking and women truckers, and that's not one of your URLs. What do you think for jobs in logistics broadly defined? And then I'm going to ask about one specific part of the logistics.
Well, I see a bright future for us. Again, having been in business for 25 years, where obviously the industry at many levels have shifted. I mean, the elephants in the room in my world, your Indeeds and your LinkedIns. Yet we thrive and we still maintain a strong service offering to our clients and, of course, provide a fantastic candidate experience for those seeking gainful employment and coming to our individual sites.
Hey, we're the payroll baddies, and our mission is to make payroll fun and relatable.
And call out industry when we hear it.
You gotta call it out. You gotta call it like you see it. But we also gotta shine a light on all those unsung payroll heroes out there, making sure we get paid.
Yeah, those are the real payroll baddies out there, and we love sharing their stories and showing them love.
With gold chain and everything, baby.
By the way, SAP is the best payroll out there, and if you don't like it,
Get out.
So I used to say that there will always be jobs for truckers and plumbers and landscapers because they have to be there. But realistically, 15, 20, 25 years, will truckers still have jobs? I mean, right now there's a huge shortage of truckers, but what's going to happen when autonomous truck driving comes in?
We're always going to need truck drivers. And openly, jobs and logistics is always going to remain in business thanks to that. When said and done, if you're getting something delivered to your house or buying something in a store, we're going to need our distribution centers and our truck drivers. And, a key piece many don't realize when you look at autonomous vehicles and the steer to automate really everything in our lives comes down to liability in our world. At this point in time, until they figure out who is liable, right, for the technology, it's not going to be fully put into play. So, simple answer. Is the manufacturer responsible when a truck goes off the road and creates an accident, or is the carrier or the owner of said vehicle that's controlling or managing the vehicle going to be responsible? So until we have that figured out, drivers are going to be safe and humming right along, bringing us everything we need.
So Domino hasn't delivered your pizza to your house by drone yet, eh?
Not at this point in time, but I anxiously await that.
We can get into a conversation about whether Domino's would be the pizza of choice or not. That's another podcast for another day. Question for you. A lot of our viewers on LinkedIn and YouTube, listeners on Spotify, Apple, etc., are overseas and probably not as familiar with your brands as those of us in the US. Tell us a little bit about the family of sites that Top USA Jobs, Jobs in Logistics, Jobs in Retail, et cetera. Are they all just US only? If so, why? Why not Canada? Why not the UK?
Absolutely. So currently we are focused specifically on the United States as well as Canada. Currently we are not supporting Mexico if you looked at North America or any outer lying country at this point in time. I do not have a specific answer just outside of our overall bandwidth and focus on what we're doing, internally, for our country and for, those that are needing top talent and those that are needing good quality hires here in the United States.
So we should just make stuff up then. We should just say, well, hey, Don Firth didn't have a passport, so we're just going to be in the US and Canada. I'm just kidding.
No, I
Something
wouldn't
like
say
that.
that. I mean, hey, the fact of the matter is he's British, so when the day is said and done, if there were anybody to be at the top of an organization looking to take a focus, across the pond, I would certainly expect it to be him.
It's true. It's true. Peter, I think we have time for another question. You want to grab it?
Yeah. What has changed in the last 10, 15 years? And what do you expect to change in the next 10, 15 years besides all the truck drivers being replaced by drones and autonomous vehicles?
Well, as I'm sure you all know, I mean, the sky is the limit from what's changed over the past 10 to 15 years. I mean, even where I got my start at Career Builder back in 2005, 2006, Indeed and LinkedIn were a thing that were up and coming. And now they are the things, right? And then you look at, how candidate behavior as well as client behavior is fully adapted. We're all working remote now. The sky is truly the limit from what has shifted. And I would honestly just see those shifts continue as we look to implement more AI, more automation, and more overall efficiencies, whether it be on the candidate side or whether it be on the client or the employer side.
It sounds like what you're saying is sort of the more things change, the more they stay the same. In the sense of that job boards are very adaptable.
Yep.
Jeff Dickey Chasins, who until recently was the job board doctor before he sold it to Julie and Chad Soash, he had a way of describing job boards as being like amoebas, that we're really good at adapting to our environment and we kind of absorb or take in the good things around us. And if you look at job boards 10, 15 years ago versus now, the basic business model is the same, but how we do it is really different. What's on the horizon for top USA jobs in logistics? What have you got? What have you got planned? What are you rolling out? What are you really excited about?
I'd have to say at this point in time, just our continued inclusion as it relates to AI. We're never going to be the organization that goes out, and that's my selling point to y'all. We got AI baked into everything, but really the implementation on the back end, again, from a user experience perspective, or just the value that we're able to bring to our clients. I know I've consolidated projects, in my world that used to take an hour to 2 hours to complete to a 10 to 15-minute process at this point in time. So I really just see being able to project more value overall on both sides of the coin.
That sounds like a good place to wrap it up. We appreciate that you joined us with your bow tie, because if you had joined us without your bow tie, we couldn't have called you the bow tie guy. We thank you very much for telling us a little bit about jobs in logistics and all the various and sundry brands you have, and taking a look forward and a little bit of a look back. Mr. Stephen, any final words?
I will be sure to send you a big package full of snow so that you can enjoy the holidays with the proper stuff spread on your front doorsteps.
Every time I go to New York, my brother says, bring back a snowball. And I show up at his house with a cup of water and I say, brought you the snowball.
Oh, there you go.
On that note, gentlemen, and you too, Stephen.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Have a good one. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you, Peter. Good to see you again, Sean.
Have a good one.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
You know the words that dominate our news cycle.
Private equity keeps inventing
Generative artificial intelligence.
tax on home.
America's fueled by market
ETFs in
volatility.
the US
Bets on
than there
Fed
are
rate
individual
cuts.
stocks.
But do you truly understand how they impact your world and your wallet? In a world that skims the what, understand the why. Because context changes everything. Subscribe to learn more at Bloomberg.com, the global benchmark for business news.